a super secret location deep within the mountains of Colorado, it's time to strap up, strap in, or strap on with your host, Shenanigans in One Shot. It's From the Ashes Radio!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to From the Ashes on About Face Media. How was your week? We had one hell of a week. It has been absolutely bananas around here. As Gwen Stefani taught us, B-A-N-A-N-A-S. It was a good time. We had a hell of a week. The start of our week, we got to go to the Psychedelic Sciences Conference up in Denver. Specifically, we got to go to the Peace of Mind portion of the... Hi, Heidi Roswell. Glad you are here. Heidi Roswell, I keep forgetting to let you know, my tomatoes are doing amazing. In spite of the great Colorado heat wave of aught 25. Folks, we would love to see how your backyard gardens are doing. We are getting our asses kicked here in the great state of Colorado. We had just had a pretty crushing heat wave. I know a lot of you are interested in how the lemon tree is doing. It's surviving. It's been touch and go. A lot of our listeners have sent us a few different plants, a few different seeds. One of our listeners, Heidi, sent us some live tomato plants. We got them in pots and put them in the garden as quick as we could. And yeah, they are thriving. They are well watered. They are well loved. So thank you. We really appreciate it. As soon as we start getting they have flowers on them. So as soon as they start getting some fruits, we will keep you all posted. But yeah, so we went up to Denver, Joe, Seth, myself, we went up to the Veterans Evening at the Peace of Mind portion for veterans at Wincoop Brewing for Psychedelic Sciences 2025. And yeah, we got to interview a whole bunch of folks and got to meet a whole bunch of folks. It was absolutely incredible. Huge shout out to Todd Youngblood and Numis Gladys. And thank you so much for having us up there. It was amazing. We had a really, really good time. Really got to meet a whole bunch of really cool people and got to experience a whole bunch of cool stuff. It was cool. Heroic Hearts was there. Our very, very good friends with Comeback Yoga were there. It was super cool. We really enjoyed it. Yeah. Getting there sucked balls. Fucking 100 and some odd degrees up there. And of course, traffic sucked balls trying to get to downtown Denver at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the evening. Sucked ass, but we did okay. Once we got there, festivities kicked off without any heartaches, and life was okay. Got to meet all kinds of great folks. Adam Marr with the American Legion gave one of the most impassioned talks I've ever heard about the veteran population and us coming together and working together, and where the future of basically the veteran population coming together and us working together and not beating each other down the way we do, and recognizing that we can do some good things together. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I liked the direction that some of this stuff was going. It's not what you think. It's not like when we were in high school, a bunch of stoners walking around in tie-dyed Grateful Dead shirts. It's not that. This is the veteran population dealing with, when you go to war, you come back changed. And that's okay. You're supposed to. You see things that we as human beings are not supposed to see. And that's okay. That's why you go. You go forward to defend your nation's interests. And you go forward to these bad places to keep the bad things over there and not happening here in the homeland like they did on September 11th. And you going forward and doing that for your nation, you come back a different person. And when you do that, you don't want to bring those things home and leave them for your families to deal with, including your children, your wife, your parents. And what they're doing at the Psychedelic Sciences Conference is finding ways for you to deal with some of those things. Now, granted, there's great things going on. You know, guys like Deke Leetzen with Outdoor Adventures. You know, we interviewed Soul last week with Rocky Mountain Heroes Foundation. And folks like that are doing great things with the veteran population, getting them outside, finding new ways to reconnect and connect with, you know, with outdoors. And that's great stuff. But the Psychedelic Sciences, they're finding new ways for you to let go of some of those things that you dealt with while overseas. And it's nothing but good things are coming from it. So even if you are completely opposed to what they're doing, as there are a lot of people that are, which is fine. You can be completely opposed to it, but it works for others. And so be willing to have that open mind. And just because it's not for you, be willing to let others find that peace. I had a very good friend. We called him the Manimal when I was in Texas. And every time I saw him, instead of saying goodbye, he always said, "I hope you find peace." And I always thought that was a strange way to end a conversation. Ooh, I hear footsteps. That means somebody made it past security. And it smells like, well, he'll figure it out. He'll get down here. But yeah, I always thought that was a strange way to end a conversation. And now that, you know, we're kind of working our way through some of this stuff here in the Denver metro area and just here on From the Ashes. And I think we're going to get a lot more involved in it. There he is. I think you'll hear a lot more about it, and I think good things will come from it. Damn, you look good, son. What's up, man? How the heck are you?
When our friends like Mental Joe dress us, I get, you know, compliments on how I dress.
Damn, he does hook it up, doesn't he?
He does.
That was probably my favorite part of Thursday night is tripping over Chad.
Yes.
And laying like, "What's up, motherfucker?"
Fucking Chad.
So I was just talking about that, as a matter of fact. But
Do you mess with my seat?
Nope.
Something's weird with my seat.
Wasn't me. Probably one of your cats. I got nothing for you, man. But I like your clamshell. Oh, they're not even really clamshells, but I do like your Adidas.
Well, 3 stripes.
Very, very Run DMC of you.
Sometimes you got to switch it up a little bit.
I know. Very impressive. We haven't done Combat Carl, but before we do, I got to talk.
I would be
about
upset
something.
if I missed that. Go ahead.
I got to talk about something else. Let's talk about yesterday. When I left here yesterday, I was a little puddle of goo. And when I got to the first Texaco station that I could, I bought 2 of the largest Gatorade bottles that I could, and they were gone before I left the parking lot.
Yeah.
We as an American man
don't quite realize what we used to be, do we?
No, not even a little bit. We spend all our time sitting in offices, crafting the perfect emails. We don't realize
creating an AI video and a video about this thing that's created, but you didn't really do a motherfucking thing.
We don't. Everybody's on social media selling the next great fucking life coaching thing, and you know, I can't even begin to explain it. But
we forgot that we got to eat.
Yeah, and
we forgot about functionality in life.
I left here, I could barely move my hands, and I still had to leave here and go home and do my own fucking chores.
Yeah, dude, I didn't stop when you left.
I know you didn't. You still had your chores to do.
I know. It's always laugh like we log a day and somebody will hit me. I'm like, man, bro, that was a fucking motherfucker working on the ranch. I'm like, I'm still working.
Still going. Bro. There's still daylight going.
Dude, yesterday's highlight was you were the one that were down there with me. We were trying to get those last panels hung, and I was trying, or was it you, or was I with Dustin, or either way, I was trying to hit the fucking staple in, and I couldn't hit it because I couldn't hold the hammer up high enough to hit it. I was like, okay, it's the day. That's when I was like, all right, we're gonna close up and finish up the day.
Folks, stop listening to these bullshit fucking life coaches on Instagram and shit. Go buy yourself a couple of acres and feed your family. You're missing out.
Oh,
because no.
You don't even want you want to have. You don't even have
spend
to
an
have that big of
afternoon
a
working
commitment
on the ranch.
Doesn't have to have that big of a commitment. Find a local boy. It's like, hey, I want to do some projects and work with them a little bit. Earn yourself a little bit of food for your family. Experience some like real life things. Pretty cool.
And we weren't even doing anything overly strenuous. We weren't like throwing hay bales and shit.
You know, here's the deal. The over strenuous is just a constant fucking grind, and you do it no matter what the conditions and environment are at that moment.
Raining,
dude, this
104 degrees.
I woke up this morning. One, I couldn't get to bed for a while. It took me a while to get my body cooled, where I could go to sleep. So I go to sleep late. I woke up, started chores a little bit, started a few things, went back to bed. I felt like I was sick almost. And then I was fine. I went back to work, but I was like, oh God. It was like not a hangover, but I had a slight like hour-long hangover when I got up.
Hogged out.
Yeah.
Like no reserves. Yeah.
I know. Remember I said next year you will be a different person, whether you want to be or not. I always don't get me wrong. I have had some hell of a days in the Army.
Yeah.
But when people used to be like, man, it's the hardest thing I ever did. I'm like, bro, like try bucking wood when you're a kid for like 10-hour days. It's crazy.
And it was only an afternoon. I got out here at like what, 11:30 in the morning. Yeah.
Kick your ass, bro.
Church, breakfast out here.
I know. It makes you a different person now. It's good for you.
Yeah, and we don't even have animals yet. I mean, not a full complement of animals. We got some, but not a full complement.
It'll actually get easier because when the animals go into something, that means the hard work of it's done. It's just maintaining. We're not building as much. Building and maintaining at the same time has kind of been a bitch this spring.
I got up this morning. I got ready for work. I'm getting. I go to get on the bike and I go to twist the throttle and like I could barely move my hand to move the. I was like, what the fuck?
You could still totally jerk off though, couldn't you?
I mean, it took till about noon, but yeah.
Yeah, I could barely twist. I'm like, bet you could jerk.
I was like, but yeah, I'm like, folks, you don't know what you're missing. I mean, we totally are selling it. Yeah, we're totally selling it, right? Well, I mean, folks, you don't know what you're missing. It occurred to me this morning on the way to work, you know, that Zen proverb, chop wood, carry water. It means so much. There's so much in those few words. And it really rings true. Chop wood, carry water. It'll change a lot of fucking things in your life. Because I slept like I haven't slept in a long time last night.
So yeah, when I cooled off and went down, bro, I went down.
I'll bet that kid Tyler slept like a rock last night.
Dude, that kid does it every day, bro. He's got a full-time contractor job, and then he's like, don't want to make a couple bucks on the weekend. I'm like, bro, if I had it still. And you know my rule, like if somebody is out there working, I refuse to let people outwork me on my place while I'm on my property. If I'm at your place helping you out, bro, I expect you to outwork me. It's your shit. So that fucking kid's hard to keep up with some days. When the teens come out here or when Grace comes out here, she's hard to keep up with.
She comes home last night. I'm sitting on the couch and it's finally dark.
Did she feel bad for you?
No, not even a little bit. She comes home last night afterwards. You know, she was out partying with her friends. When I got on a pair of Ranger panties, I'm sitting in the recliner. I'm looking like hammered ass. And she's like, what happened to you? I'm like, Seth. She goes, yeah, that checks out.
She's so fun. Oh God.
Joe says drink an extra Monster. Dude, a Monster would have fucking killed me last night. I had a resting heart rate of 283 last night. I swear to fucking God.
No, seriously, you know, a lot of times I'm just like, I just get up and do it again the next day. I was actually rough this morning, so I'll give you that.
Yeah. That
was a hell of a weekend. It's just hot, bro. It was fucking pushing triple digits all 3 days, and that's rough.
I was trying to twist those wires, and I'm like, this is just not happening. I just can't hold it anymore. And it's just not doing what it's supposed to do. And I'm like, I still got to go home and do my own fucking chores.
I was laughing when you told me when you were hanging all the wire and you're like, dude, my hands won't, I can't twist the wire anymore. And I told you, it's like, dude, remember that line down there? I had to put up, was it last fall or something like that? I put up that line. And I did the whole thing on my own. And I was like, the worst part, I was like, dude, it's not even the stretch. It's not all these things that like usually suck. It's just my hand muscles are like crampy, sore. I had like muscle failure of the palm. I was a teenage boy at one time. I've never had muscle failure of the palm.
By like 2 in the afternoon in the middle of the school day, you're like, hi.
Got my strong hands.
All right, we need
what
to bring
is Carl, by the way? Now you said you didn't do it, and now you're at 6'16". Joe's not here keeping us on track. What the hell are we doing again?
We will come back. We'll do Carl afterwards. We got stuff we got to talk about with Allie. Okay. I know I'm a dick. What is it? I don't know. I swear I'd never work in the heat again. I ended up pulling weeds and last week. Not a fan. Hey, let's bring our guest on. Because we got to talk about this is a good one, and then we'll come back to Carl towards the end of the show because that's a good one. Actually, Joe found Carl. Joe, are you able to bring up our guest? Is he in the green room? He said he was gonna be.
I can't see anything. It's confusing when we don't have our babysitter.
He's got so much shit. There he is. What's up?
Hello.
How are you? So Tim, when I told everyone that we were having Tim Allen on the show,
I thought we were doing cocaine.
People were super excited. And I'm like, no, it's not that Tim Allen.
Yeah.
I get it all the time. I was actually living in Michigan as a mechanic, and I even have the tool man tattoo to show off.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
And they were like, hey, is Pamela Anderson coming too? And I was like, you got the wrong Tim Allen, bro. It's not the same guy. What's up, man? How you doing?
Good, excellent. Sunny, nice 4:17 in the morning over here.
Jesus, you got up at 4 o'clock in the morning to be on this radio show. Well done to you, man.
Yeah.
If it helps, we ended up getting rebroadcast on like 3 other stations later, so you'll get like a whole lot of appearances if that helps you at all.
Hey, it's totally worth it. Anything I can do to help out and put my name out there, I'm willing to do it.
You're actually in Bahrain, right?
I'm in Dubai.
Dubai. So how's the war going?
We really didn't get affected by it. They closed the airports for like an hour or two, and other than that, then everything opened back up.
Well, I got a tweet as I was pulling into the driveway here at the super secret location that it sounds like the war's over and we won. So good for us.
Yep.
So good on you.
12-day war.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it sounds like more like a 12-hour war. So
yeah.
good on you. Sounds like you won it. Good job for you. Well done to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. He said. Well, let's start at the beginning. Since you're not the Tim Allen that everyone was expecting, you're the other Tim Allen. We're glad to have you instead, because that guy's probably an asshole anyway. What do you call it? Those that don't know you, let's start at the beginning. Tell us about your military service.
Well, name's Tim Allen. I joined the Army in 2004 when I was 20 years old. Deployed 5 times, twice to Iraq, 1 to Afghanistan, 2 times throughout the GCC areas. Came in initially as a track vehicle mechanic, got bored of that after 10 years, and decided to try out for special operations. Busted my ass, ruck marching 8 miles a day and running my ass off all the time, and then got through the Q course, learned how to speak Dari, which is just about useless. Eventually made it through, and did a couple rotations through the GCCs, Kuwait, Qatar, Oman, Saudi, UAE, Oman, and training or showing their special forces how to be better. Got out of the military December 2017. Met my wife, my current wife, in Abu Dhabi. She was actually working there in the hotel industry. And been out here ever since. Spent 3 years in Abu Dhabi, 3 years in Salalah, Oman, and now 4 years here in Dubai. Currently working as a close protection officer for celebrities and ultra high net worth individuals.
I'm hoping to be an ultra high net worth individual someday.
Oh yeah.
You see, well, Dubai really is the safest place in the world, but they still like to have a local, and when Westerners come out, they want to have a Western face and a black suit walking them around, making sure everything's safe. So that's what I do. Follow these guys around. Had a couple of sweet celebrities like Chris Hemsworth or Orlando Bloom. They come through, and that's what we do now. I had some time in Salalah, Oman during COVID, a little tourist town about 50 kilometers from the Yemen border. Everything went flatline. I said, hey, why not? Let's start writing a little bit. This was originally supposed to be a script for a video game. Old Army buddy of mine said, you want to just make a video game for me? I was getting into Unreal Engine 5. And then that shit's difficult. I gave up on the computer part of it and started writing the script. And I'm like, hey, this almost sounds like a book. Might as well just keep going with it. All right. Got 100 pages in, a couple 100 pages in. And I'm like, all right, this sounds like something I can actually make work. Got done with the first Revolution book. I had a daughter. My oldest daughter was 10 at the time. And she's like, you can write a book? That's something you can just do? I'm like, oh, yeah. Okay, here you go. Here's just dragons and trolls and mystical creatures and crap. And okay, I converted that all down to a plot and created the other book, The Adventures of Azra. And then now I've got 5 books I've written, working on the third in the Revolution series. And that's about it.
So I brought on, it was kind of crazy because I got your book just in time as I was leaving for vacation. You sent me a couple of them. And I got them as I was getting ready. I have it as I was getting ready to leave for vacation. So I brought the 2 soft covers with me on vacation, and then ended up giving them away while I was on vacation because a couple people while I was on vacation were like, "Oh, what you got there?" And showing them the books and whatnot. And you had autographed them both while I was there, or when you sent them to me. Joe Allen, Seth Reed's. Well, there's pictures.
Not really.
Yeah.
See, they all know.
Yeah.
That's why there's a stack of books over there.
I have the hardcover for you. Don't you worry. So yeah, I ended up giving both of your books away to other Americans while I was in Costa Rica. So yeah, your books are making the rounds around the world, man.
Excellent. Those colorful ones I actually had printed here in Dubai. I did self-publishing. I sent them about 50 copies each. I sent most of them back to the States. My daughter took them to schools, gave them to all her friends. So I've only got maybe a handful of those left. But this one here, the nice, beautiful 3 Horsemen, that came from Tactical 16, excellent publishing agency. Chris Schaefer did an excellent job.
That is a fucking slick cover.
Yeah.
I don't think I've said that yet. We've had a lot of authors on. We have a lot of veteran authors, and we like having them on. That's the first cover that was that's fucking dope.
Yeah, you like that?
That looks badass.
Well, the soft cover.
I want to write in like that, except for I want like a tactical out like Picatinny rail system lever action. Just fucking saddlebagging it the whole way. But that picture's sweet. I like that cover.
It is a cool cover. The soft cover did not have that cover. It's got a different cover on it. But the hard cover, that is the hard cover.
That's badass. I like it.
It is. It's pretty cool looking. How did you get tied in with Tac 16? How did you trip over him?
Oh, I spammed probably 300 different publishing agencies and literary agents, and I ended up getting a hold of a Double Dagger, like a magazine company, and then she referred me to Chris Schaefer and Tactical 16, and then all downhill from there.
Yeah, we've known Tac 16 for a long time. He's good.
A couple years now, a couple few years.
Yeah, he's sent us a bunch of great authors, so we've had nothing but good times with him. So nothing but good things to say about him. So well done to you. Good stuff. Is there
how did you like the book? I haven't really gotten any feedback from an actual veteran from reading this book before. I'm actually kind of hoping to hear what your feedback on it really is.
So there are a lot of folks writing these post-apocalyptic, hey, end of the world type books, and I that's not my genre of book, but for that genre of book, it was a good one. If that makes sense. So I'm into I just finished reading, have you read Project Hail Mary yet?
No.
You should check that one out. So I'm a sci-fi geek, like any kind of, I'm a nerd kind of. I like Star Wars, Star Trek, that kind of stuff. And so for that genre, I like what you did with that genre. How did you land on that genre, as a matter of fact? Oh, you said your buddy was making a video game.
It was just a script to a video game, and it just ended up evolving into this. And now I've got 2.5 books written already.
Is that like a passion for you kind of thing? I mean, is it something you jam on? You like that kind of thing? Or are you more into like
I like laughing while writing. If I'm laughing while I'm writing, I know someone's going to enjoy it later on.
There were a few little one-liners in there that caught my attention that were clearly written by a veteran that I liked a lot. I liked it.
Thank you very
I like
much.
what you did there.
A little secret thing about this is I used my brothers are actually Randy and Garrett. So those are the two other main characters in the book. So I use them as Tim, Randy, and Garrett. Those are my brothers.
That kind of
That's
checks
cool.
out. That makes perfect sense. I mean, I would have figured that, but I did not know that. So that's good stuff. That checks out. So does the town relate to some place that you know?
A little bit, like the visuals of it. Yes, is my parents. They live in Kansas right now, a little bitty town. It's got the brick roads. It looks exactly the same. That's why I've envisioned it in their little tiny town in Kansas. Um, but a lot of the flashbacks, a lot of those were actually some of the military experiences, the airborne operations,
Mm-hmm.
a couple little ambushes and things that we've been through. A lot of this is straight from my memory. I didn't really have to research much. All the convoy operations, the different tactical things, all this fun, and even just the humor just reminded me of my guys so much. The little things like you'll be in the worst of a situation, it's gonna look at me like you just tripped over that, they just laugh at you. It doesn't matter, you're about to die. We're gonna laugh about it a little bit.
Yeah.
So, it's funny you say that like that, because just recently he and I were doing some stupid stuff, and I started breaking out hysterically laughing. And he's like, "Dude, why the fuck are you laughing?" And I'm like, "I can't help it. We're gonna die. We're gonna die."
Yeah.
What do you call it? I had a question for you. Oh yeah. How do you write? So is it you sitting there with a notebook, like a spiral bound notebook,
Dude,
and a blue pen? Or you?
I envision all writers have the old school fucking typewriter. Tell me you're one of those.
No, I got a
Nah,
laptop.
no.
I'll usually write out like the first few chapters, and then I'll just let it kind of write itself. I won't know what's going to happen in the next chapter before I get done with the previous one. I won't know the name of the chapter until I get done with it, and I'll find something within the chapter to name it, and then it'll just evolve and basically write itself before it's over with.
But are you writing in a notebook? Are you writing on a laptop? Are you writing on a typewriter? How are you writing?
I've got a laptop. I got a gaming laptop, and when I'm not writing, I'm gaming on it. And I'll write up a basic script of where I'd like to see it go or how I want to see it, and if it evolves in that way by the time I get there, then more power to it. Like the last book I'm on right now, I don't know how it's going to end just yet. It's just got to be the biggest, most baddest American thing you can think of. So I'm still trying to build up to that.
How have book sales been? Are you going to be a multimillionaire, or is Orlando Bloom going to be guarding you next, or what's the deal?
It's been going slow. Tactical 16 has an event coming up here soon. They want me to put together a video. I'm trying to come back to the States for the events, but I can't do it right now. I don't know if I'll ever make it back to Dubai. But it's been a while since I've been back to the States. I'd like to go back and do a little sit down in the pub like T16 does and, showcase the book and
Hmm?
introduce the author type thing. But maybe next year. Um, haven't really seen too much. I'm really just trying to connect with some readers and then some fans and make a little bit of a fan base out of it and see where I
Hmm.
can go from there.
Well, hopefully this helps a little bit. I mean, seems pretty
Yeah.
unlikely based on our audience, but hopefully, yeah, you'll be rebroadcast on Heroes Radio, and you'll be rebroadcast on WTF Nation. So hopefully you get a few more folks to pick up the book after this. Well, that being said, why don't you tell folks where they can find your book?
You can find them on Amazon and also the Tactical 16 website.
How much does it cost?
I think a hardcover is like 32. There's an ebook out, so that's the easy option for most people nowadays. And there's also a soft cover out for I think it's 16.
Are you going to release it on Audible?
I would like to. I have a AI generated version of it for the audiobook. Funny story. I have a buddy of mine that works. He actually had Lindsay Lohan. He's an audio guy. He had Lindsay Lohan as one of his audio people, and he had this nice big humongous studio. And I sat there and I did the AI version of the audiobook, and we sat there for like 6 months, just getting drunk and putting audio explosions and gunshots and everything all in this awesome audiobook. And I've got this. It's kind of just horrible, so bad it's excellent type of audiobook. But I'm hoping maybe we can work with Tactics 16 and get an actual voice actor to play it out. we'll see what happens.
Did you say Lindsay Lohan?
Yes, that's one of his clients. He knows her personally. She comes in there and does her audio things in his studio. She lives here in Dubai.
Really?
Yep.
No shit. I had no idea. So we are huge fans here of Britney Spears.
Absolutely.
Any connections?
Not that I know of.
I want to
No,
see
she
her
doesn't
dance.
visit very often.
So we realized that we made a huge
Dance.
mistake with the Free Britney movement. And we are huge fans of Britney in this studio, just so you're aware. So if you trip over her while you're over there, just mention to her, hey, you ever listen to the From the Ashes radio show? Because they really like you. So, yeah.
The batshit crazy Britney. Yep, that one.
Joe Allen, be nice.
All the celebrities tend to show up in the end of the year for Formula One in November. They always show up in Abu Dhabi. So that's when the big close protection time is.
Well, if you see her, please mention us. Let her know, hey, we're rooting for her. Go Brittany. Hey, man, I know it's 4:00 in the morning for you. Just, I don't know if you're going back to bed or not. I know the war is raging well, not anymore in your neck of the woods. I'm going to hand you off to my hetero life mate over here. He's going to give you all the outgoing instructions. Yeah, I really appreciate your time tonight, but yeah, he's all yours, man.
All right, Tim, thanks for coming on. We'll give you a couple minutes at the end. If there's anything you wanted to say that we just kind of like ran through and didn't get to talk about, or a message you had, make sure you remind us of our handles. We give you about 2 minutes at the end. Time is yours. Use it how you wish.
Well, guys, thank you very much for finding me and letting me come on the show. I watched a couple episodes of you guys' performances. A lot of craziness in there for sure.
He said performances.
Yeah, he did.
If you want to call it that. I want to thank Tactical 16 for making this all possible and putting this excellent book together. We'll see when the next one comes out, Surviving the Revolution South of the Border. Boys are going to Mexico. We got some tacos and some Latinas they'll be getting wrapped up in. I'll definitely share it next time that comes out, or when it comes out. You can find everything on Amazon, eBay, and on the Tactical 16 webpage. And if you want to find on Instagram, Novels by TL Allen, drop me a message anytime. I'm always online. I like to speak to fans. I think that's about it. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. And hey, keep yourself safe over there. It sounds like shit's getting a little silly. So, well, it's getting less silly now.
Fun.
I've got my go bag packed and ready to go.
Well, good luck to you, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been talking with Tim Allen. No, not that Tim Allen, the other Tim Allen. We really appreciate you being a part of From the Ashes on About Face Media. Yeah, really part of Tactical 16 Publishing, another great author with Tac 16 Publishing. Yeah, really appreciate you taking time out of your Monday evening on Monday morning for you. Is it Monday morning or Tuesday? It's Tuesday for you, isn't it? Tuesday morning. God damn, that's so fucking weird. Anyway, yeah, really appreciate you taking time out of your day to be a part of From the Ashes, man. Have a great rest of your day and keep your head low. All right, man?
Thank you very much.
Have a great rest of your day. That poor motherfucker woke up at 4:00 in the morning to be on our show. All right. So since I don't think we have Ali quite yet. And since we skipped it a few minutes ago, let's see here. Let's see if we can get into what we had for, what do you call it? Combat Carl. Because Joe had a really good one. Let me see if we can find it here. It was really funny.
I saw it come through, but I hadn't looked at it yet.
Oh, here it is. Oh, yeah, here it is. This a group chat. Make sure I have the right one. It's a group chat with a leadership for a convoy briefing. And it looks like it's from Germany. And you didn't spend any time in Europe at all. Well, I don't know if Hawaii was the same way, but I love this fucking leadership chat. This is when you get leadership through text message, which is the current army leadership, which I fucking love.
Stop letting vehicles pass through convoy.
Stop letting vehicles pass through the convoy at intersections where we have the right of way. No vehicle enters our formation. Stick at the light. Honk at them if they get into the formation. We are military formation. They can move. Blow all the red lights with 5 thumbs up. And does that say?
There's some hearts.
Just 2. I thought it said 42. But be cautious. All through that last light. Blow all red lights for real with a big question mark. Always obey all local traffic laws and do not blow all red lights. That is fucking awesome, dude.
Says who?
Oh my God, I fucking love that. That is awesome. Oh, and fucking Hatchet is here. Cool.
Dude, I am so happy.
About
So
what?
fucking happy that I was running around clearing post to retire.
Uh-huh. I've heard of it.
And one of those days I was clearing was the day I set up my Facebook. I didn't have any of that shit when I was in. I didn't have a smartphone. I didn't even have a fucking cell phone the first couple years I was in the Army.
You got your Motorola Razor as you were clearing out, didn't you?
No, I got a Razor right when I got back from a deployment.
Okay. So you set yourself up a Facebook.
What I'm saying is I didn't have to have all my stupid shit end
Out
up on
there in the
social
world.
media and in text messages and all this crap. Because fuck me, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I would be in so much trouble.
Yeah. Can you
And
imagine?
these guys are in so much trouble. Shut up. Do people ever get you can just shut the fuck up at any point in time.
Mhm.
You don't have to blabber.
Leadership by text message. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what Staff Sergeant Rodenbaugh would have fucking done if that text message came through and you're in that front fucking convoy, front Humvee in that convoy, blow through the light?
It would probably start with shut your fucking cock holster.
The beating
We're
that
gonna
specialist would have gotten.
Fucking kill him, bro.
You put that in print. Is
You
there
fucking texted that?
and it's forever.
Yes.
What the fuck you thinking, kid?
I don't even have a problem. You notice how neither one of us gave a fuck about blowing through the red lights in a civilian area. Like,
No.
get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. Yes, we just don't put it in print.
Yes. Ever. I don't print anything.
No.
Dude, imagine the things that are in my green notebooks
Yeah,
that could have been in a phone.
yeah.
No.
I have all those notebooks, and
They're glorious.
Yes.
I love going through my to-do lists
Yes.
and my things from Army
remember
days.
to beat the shit out of this person.
Yeah. Kill Steinle.
Exactly.
Kill Bradbury.
It's the same notes with
I
different
really hope
names.
a couple guys are listening and knew what I meant by that.
It's
Fuck.
the same notes. Beat the shit out of this person
Oh,
when
man.
you get them alone. Exactly right. It's not far off at all. That is funny as fuck, dude. Oh my fucking God, man.
Do you know what mine would? A lot of times it would just say break and then a name. Break so-and-so. Break. So that was my code for fucking somebody is like really in some shit. Just break them. Find a way.
See, I didn't have that. I by the time I got there, I was like, hey, make sure that Corporal Nelson handles this person.
No. Dude, I was still a raging fucking cunt when I was like an E6. Like an E6, like platoon sergeant position. I was fucking raging. Like an E5.
Well,
With too much testosterone or something. I was fucking crazy. It was all the time. I'm productive when I'm angry. I like to work. I'm happy when I work angry. Have you ever noticed that?
Yes.
There's just a little edge to me when I'm working. I work well like that way. It helps me stay focused. And I'm actually really happy when I'm like that. It doesn't make sense, but I'm in a great mood. I'm just like, motherfucker, I got kicking shit.
but when you get to that certain rank, you can get to the point where you can like, hey, you go handle that. And
I'm just so much more of a hands-on kind of guy. Like I would probably have been that sergeant major that was in the fucking Muscle Beach on Friday at 1300. Like, who can we fuck up today?
well,
I'm gonna start my weekend off right.
well, and Sandy and I
Come here, Private Joe.
have these conversations all the time too. It's the same as parenting. You're like, hey, when you save your kids from that pain and suffering, and when you no, I'll handle that for you. You go ahead. You're taking something away from them. When you take that away from your soldiers, when you say, hey, I'm going to kick the shit out of that, you're taking that away from your junior NCOs when they could be kicking the shit out of that soldier.
I'm not. I expect it to trickle down. So when I get done, it just goes down the ranks until there's nobody that outranks you.
Yeah. Exactly right. You're exactly right.
I'm not taking away
I
from
kick the
him.
shit out of the staff
I'm
sergeant.
setting the standard
exactly
for what should follow from
Yeah,
the
shit
next
rolls
race.
downhill. Yeah. You're exactly right. Shit rolls downhill. You're not far off at all. I get you, man. That's awesome, dude. Hey Joe, is Allie in the green room? Did she make it in tonight? Because I got questions.
Oh, she did.
All right, Allie, how's it going, girl?
What up, homie?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Did I just see a sheet of paper in your hand? Did you have something you wanted to talk
She
about?
had notes.
Just my VA appointment.
So I got a couple of questions, and this may not be up your alley. This may not be an alley question.
Okay.
I got a listener listening,
Best.
and we got questions.
All right.
So veteran is married to spouse for 30 plus years.
And they divorce?
No. Veteran dies. What do you call it? Widow is looking for something called aid and attendance, caregiver, widow's pension. Someone reaches out to widow. Yes, we can get you these benefits. Pay us $600 and we will help you to get those benefits.
No. Okay. So it doesn't matter how long you've been married to the veteran. The veteran has to have been a wartime veteran for the spouse to get aid and attendance. The spouse must have less than $155,000 in income and assets. One house and one vehicle do not count. Everything else is an asset. Roth IRAs, mutual funds, CDs, like all of that. Retirement, Social Security, life insurance, trusts, all of that counts as an asset. One house, one vehicle don't count. You have to have less than $155,000 in income and assets. Husband or wife, spouse, the veteran must be a wartime veteran. And the applicant must need assistance with at least 3 daily living tasks. So bathing, dressing, feeding, toileting.
Sounds like I asked just the right person.
Those are the 3 criteria. Must be a wartime veteran, must have less than $155,000 income and assets, must need help with assistant daily living tasks.
So this person asking for $600 is a predator.
Fucking eat me, okay? No, that's bullshit. I fucking do A&A claims like every day. No, don't pay $600. That's fucking stupid. Don't.
So they go to what? VBA?
They go to va.gov and you can apply. It's a 534 and a 2680, or go to your local VSO and have them do it for you.
Like disabled American veterans, VFW, that kind of thing?
Yep. Any VSO who's accredited knows how to do an A&A claim.
Okay.
For free.
Okay. They don't.
I'm picking up on this might be like an easier one amongst all the things to file.
Actually, aid and attendance is actually the most comprehensive application that the VA has.
Okay.
All right.
Because with the 2680, which is the application for aid and attendance, you also need the 534EZ. You need an income and asset statement. You have to show proof of marriage, proof of death. Like usually the veteran is dead when the spouse asks for A&A.
Mm-hmm.
And then you need like your mortgage. Ask you if you sit on 2 acres of land or more, can that land be divided? Do you have anything in trust? Do you sell any assets? Do you have any money from properties, from businesses? Did you transfer? Like it's a lot of questions. It's a very long application.
Okay. Make sure they're not like hiding shit and stuff like that.
Correct. I actually did an A&A claim when I was in Foxborough. And she's like, yes, I have less than $150,000 income and assets. I was like, okay. And it was like, I don't know. I was at VSL for like a year. So I wasn't very well versed in aid and attendance. And coming to find out her application gets rejected because she has a fucking second house in Malibu.
Ooh.
In Malibu.
Ooh.
I'm like, bitch, are you kidding me? That's an asset. Yeah. So no, you don't need to pay $600. Oh my God. So I will talk this person through the Iran-Israel ceasefire agreement. LA.
Yeah. I got a tweet that said that just as the show was getting ready to start. So, yeah.
Okay, good. Because I'm telling you, if World War III interrupts my fucking wedding, I'm gonna be pissed.
You know,
I'm
I
gonna
knew
blow
where that
some
was
shit
going.
up.
I knew where that was going, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I could have wrote that for you.
Yeah. We could have seen that one coming. That was pretty easy to predict.
I do want to point out something though.
Go
You
ahead.
know, we talk all the time about, oh, we don't need to take care of that because we're going to be there for 20 fucking years and blah, blah. Here's what they should do. They should just gone in there and wiped out the fucking blah, blah, blah bases. They should have just done this. What do you do? Exactly what we've asked for years when there's a conflict. Just want to point that out. Didn't we just wipe out some nuclear plants that weren't supposed to exist, and then 12 hours later it was over?
Should have just fucking given Allie a fucking Rambo survival knife and
fucking
let
told her
fucking
her wedding's on the line.
Halo in.
I got so
Your
much
wedding
fucking
is on the
pent-up
line.
rage. Like I have so much pent up rage. I can't even. Do you know that I was brought into HR today because somebody reported me to HR, me to HR because of a post I put on my Facebook page back in March. I said, fuck out of here. And I spelled it FUQOUTTA here, HEA. Fuck out of here. Right.
So were they pissed at your spelling or what?
I don't know. So HR calls me up and she's like, hey, can you come to my office? And I'm like, all right, fucking no, like, this is some bullshit. And she showed me the paperwork and I'm like, this was from March. And she's like, Allie, everybody loves you. I'm like, I know, because I
Apparently
fucking
not everybody.
clearly, right? And not only did they report, like they printed it out, they also attached our social media policy to it. So it had to be somebody internal. And I'm more pissed that they didn't have the balls to come into my face and be like, hey, I took offense. Okay, I'm sorry. Not sorry. You can unfriend me. Like, you're on my fucking page. I don't know what to tell you.
The employee's name was Joel Front, and he was very irritated and disappointed in your spelling error and grammatical errors.
Yeah, I was like, I'm looking at her, and I'm like, this is stupid. She's like, I know. I just want to tell you. I was like, do you need me to sign anything? She's like, no, just, I'm like, got it. So the TikTok that I made yesterday about like the reason
I was wondering, I was like, well, I'm not keeping up with this. So
so I wrote.
It was hard to fap to, but I figured out a way to make it work. So
so I had to delete it because God forbid. So somebody is watching me, right? Because they went all the way back to March. So if you didn't see it, I wrote, I made a TikTok sitting on my front stoop about like, do we pull out our BDUs or our ACUs? Like my boots don't fit, shit like that. Someone replied, like, you can make the sandwiches. I get hungry when I'm done fighting. So I didn't see it till I was in the bathtub. So I get in the bathtub and I'm like completely
big
nude.
balls.
Yeah. So, and I looked and
I would say.
Yeah. Well, but you'd put your name on it though.
Oh,
he did. So I replied, right? But I was in the tub and I'm like, I'm not waiting till I get out. So I'm completely fucking nude. And I'm like, the reason I'm so fat is because every time I fuck your dad, he makes me a sandwich. Done. So I got some traction and then I'm like, oh my God, if HR gets a hold of this, like I'm cooked. Right. So I had to delete it. And I don't like being censored. I told him, like, I don't like being censored. She's like, I know you don't. I'm like, okay, like we literally fucking fought a war not to be censored, right? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. Just so you know, I don't like to be censored. But the reason why I'm fat is because your dad makes me a sandwich every time I fuck him. So there's that.
Yeah, don't be a punk, dude. Come on now. Don't do that.
Like
step up.
Audacity.
Find out who it was and teach
So
him.
I did ask if we could look at the cameras because that's some punk ass fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
That's some bullshit. Like if
somebody
I treat
needs some
everybody
ankle
with
pain.
respect. I'm friendly with everybody. Like despite
see the cameras, did I miss something in here?
No. She's saying because she wants to know who it was that dropped off the complaint because she wants to look at the cameras.
Oh,
and find out who it was.
Okay. I thought we were talking about the comment on social media.
No,
cameras.
No. The cameras from my complaint. Somebody put it in the mayor. Somebody put it in the mayor's Dropbox. Like inside, it's access controlled.
Oh.
Put it inside the mayor's Dropbox with my comment and a copy of the social media policy.
Oh.
I'm like, that's dirty.
I'm tracking now. I was very confused for a moment.
Yeah.
And
So I
there's
had to
box,
delete.
huh?
I had to, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would kind of be like proud. I'm a little
Yeah, I would
impressed
be
right
too.
now.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. That's kind of cool. You got a fucking like complaint box in the mayor's fucking office box.
Like
come
literally
on.
her mailbox. And I'm like, and it's access controlled. So it had to have
Man,
been.
you really irked Karen
Yeah,
I
you did.
really did. I
or
really did.
Chad. It probably was a
Yeah,
Chad.
I don't.
I don't
and
think it was
that's
a
the thing,
Karen.
though.
I'm reading this one as a Chad.
I'll bet they accepted the wedding invitation.
No, so nobody. So I have my office manager, right? Like my assistant and my principal clerk, the mayor, and my chief of staff. Those are the only 4 people of my colleagues that are invited to the wedding. Like nobody else. No other. Like no, nobody else.
This is our new favorite person, whoever it is.
I know. I kind of. I
Why?
wish I knew who it was so I could fuel.
Because
it.
now we want to know who they are.
Move.
Now we have a new target. This is our new people. Hey, did you know that there are no Walmarts in Iran?
No, but there are sure a lot of fucking targets.
I text him at what was it, like 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. with that shit. I was so excited.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. I like that one. I like that
My
one.
boss didn't laugh.
Oh, yeah. See, I feel like once you get like in a leadership role, you kind of lose all your.
You're not allowed
coolness.
to. You're not allowed to have a sense of humor or laugh at things anymore.
I
guess.
know.
That's everybody else laughed, and my boss was like,
He
"It's all right,
wanted to
Janet,
laugh.
you can laugh."
Yeah.
Oh, her name's Janet. Oh my God! Poor Janet. Janet's in her moo like trying not to like
Yes,
offend
exactly.
people. And fucking Rob's over here.
I know she walked into her office and laughed her ass off.
Yeah, but
And I bet you she was texting everybody that same fucking joke. Like, did you
Yeah.
know that there are no Walmarts in Iran? Yeah.
I have to go write up a person right now. I'm cool with it. Allie, what do you got for the safety brief this week?
Don't be a bitch. Confront people who make you.
don't be a bitch.
Don't write $600 checks to fucking.
Yeah. Don't
Pumps.
I am wearing pants, Joe.
Your own.
Yeah, my own. See?
I hope those aren't his.
Never mind.
He's trying to get the helicopter started.
Like, I feel like as a society, we have completely lost the ability to have a discussion, to have a disagreement, because all of a sudden, if I disagree with you, I hate you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's not true. Like, Seth, you and I could not be any like differently politically. Like, we are on opposite ends. But
Sometimes, yeah. And that's one of the reasons I appreciate
there
it.
are things you disagree on, but I'll bet you're closer in a lot of ways than you think.
maybe.
But either way.
Either way, like that's not a reason to fucking hate you.
No, to be honest, I'm on the flip side. Not only does it make me not hate you, I appreciate you more, because instead of being a fucking regurgitating, no self-thought individual, if you agree with me 100%, I don't trust you. I don't believe in anything you say.
Yeah.
It's a boring
you
conversation.
don't have your own opinion.
It's a boring
You should
conversation.
have your own feelings. They should be different than mine. And
Right.
we shouldn't align. If we align more than 90%, somebody in there is a dishonest motherfucker, is not free of thought. I want people to think, everybody around me should think at least something is pretty significantly different.
Right.
You know, I believe in free thinking, and I like people.
But I feel like society isn't like that anymore. Like we
don't celebrate it.
Yeah, we can't even have a conversation, discussion on opposite ends, you know, and different theories, you know, and without it being personal, without people hating each other. Like,
right. And also, like, the thing is if we're open to listening, a lot of us will change over the years of our maturity and things. Like I've not always thought the same way about the things that I do now. And, and pretty much, to be quite honest, 20-year-old Seth thought pretty close to opposite of 40-year-old Seth. Not opposite, but like in a lot of political, economic, social, like worldly things. 20-year-old Seth had zero experience. So what he thought was quite uneducated and unknowledgeable. 40-year-old Seth had a little bit more, and it was very different.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I assume 60 is going to be way fucking different too.
So the husband-elect is 17 years older than I am, right? And one of the smartest things he's ever said to me, he's like, people don't listen to understand, they listen to reply.
Yes.
And I'm
Yes.
like, you're right.
Yes.
You're right. I'm like, look
It's
at you and
true.
your old age wisdom.
It gets worse, Allie. It gets much.
It's almost not just
worse.
reply. It's almost like counter,
Correct. Yeah.
right? They're listening in order to
don't
have a
listen.
debate rather than a discussion. Everything has to, you can't just have a discussion. I think there's a serious difference between discussion and debate. And I think it's great to have both, but like, I should be able to sit with my friend and not have a fucking debate. We should be able to have a discussion.
Correct.
And I feel like that kind of is just along the same lines of what he is saying, where they're not sitting there trying to listen to you and hold value to your thoughts and feelings. They're really just listening to how can I counter that? How can I beat that with my opinion so that my opinion's better? And it's a shitty mentality,
Like
in my opinion.
no one wants to try and understand a different point of view. And that like, how do you live with such a closed mind? How do you, I don't know.
Sandy, what are you talking about? That hair is fucking glorious, man. I wish I had that hair. I don't know what Sandy's talking about.
She's crazy.
What do you got for the safety brief, man?
I had one. Go first. I have it. Give me a second.
Hydrate, motherfuckers. Hydrate. Yeah. It is fucking hot out there, and the wind takes a lot out of you too.
Oh, yeah.
Hydrate. It's not just water. Have a Gatorade or two once in a while. You need more than just water.
iPro.
It was 100 degrees today.
iPro, definitely. Rob wishes he had hair, even bad hair. I have
hair.
hair.
I was thinking the same thing, but see,
it's just not on my head.
But you know, Joe wishes he had my hair. So I really don't know where Sandy's coming from. Now we're talking about hair, but I was being nice to Joe and leaving it alone.
Sandy wishes she had that hair.
Yeah.
Have you guys, speaking of hair, have you guys seen 28 Years Later?
Not yet. No. Is it good?
It is good.
Is it? I'm looking forward to it. I loved 28 Days Later. So yeah.
Yes, this is very good. Yep.
Okay. Cool. Yep. All right.
No, I can't go there.
I have African Jew hair.
I'm not allowed to laugh at that.
I'm not sure what. I want to have a reaction to that, but I don't want to have a reaction.
I don't have a reaction for that. Not allowed to.
All right. You're done. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to that part of the show. Good night, Allie.
Bye, guys. Love
Good night.
you. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to that part of the show that we don't want to have to do it, but it's an important part of the show. We have to do it. Come to that part of the show. It's called Never Forgotten. Tonight, we're going to talk about Major Paul C. Volke. The Department of Defense announced the death of Major Paul C. Volke, 36, of Monroe, New York. He died June 22nd in Mazar-e Sharif of Afghanistan. He was assigned 1st Battalion, 30th Infantry Regiment, 2nd Heavy Brigade Combat Team, 3rd ID, Fort Stewart, Georgia. The cause of death has been not made available. He went to Afghanistan with his unit in February for a 9-month deployment. Ladies and gentlemen, as you say your prayers tonight with your family and you put your hands together, remember not just Major Volke, but also remember his family there without him as well. Remember that everything that we do, every time that our nation's first responders strap on the boots, step into that fire truck, every time that they step forward in training, every time that they deploy forward, they're doing something dangerous and they're taking their life in their hands. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to From the Ashes on About Face Media. We sincerely appreciate your time. We sincerely appreciate you listening and being a part of the show. Have a great rest of your week. We'll be back next week. We are going to have an excellent show next week. I can't wait for you to hear our guest next week. We're going to hear from Flags for the Flagless. Have a great rest of your week, and thank you for being a part of the show. Have a great night. Bye.